your inbox. Oh, you got it? Sweet. So last week we talked about planning out and then implementing the first 5 minutes, a moment-by-moment plan for the first 5 minutes of intervention. So what's been the impact of doing that?
Kids are quieter back there. They know what to expect. And actually giving them a task to do, like reading their novel, until we can move into Chromebooks. Getting Chromebooks gives them something to do versus just sitting and some, possibly talking. So, yeah, it's been better for the kids and me. It's a little bit more calmer.
Okay.
I would say chaotic.
Great. Yep. What other successes have you had in the last week? What about today in covering classes?
Kids are on task and actually working on completing their packets.
What did you do to make them be on task?
I held them accountable. Told them, of course, they know that Mr. Mays will as well hold them accountable in that department of getting their stuff done.
But covering in class and getting others, I'm sorry, I'll turn this off. Covering in class and getting other students to do, covering in class and getting students to do work when you're covering is a tough thing, really. So what did you do? I heard you say because I held them accountable. What did that sound like?
Just telling them that they knew that we would lose points if they were off task.
Lose points of off task.
I feel like also Mullen gave me the idea of if the kids did get the packet done, that they would that they could earn Chromebook time, and so she helped me out in that department. They really worked hard for that, and they knew I feel like that was all because I didn't mention lunch or anything taking lunch away unless it was something super horrible. Not taking lunch away, but making them have a lunch detention or something with me. I didn't have to even mention any of that. I didn't get to that point.
Good, you shouldn't have to. Great.
Yeah. So awesome. I had blocks before lunch. I almost had Spelman, but Mays was there.
Good.
So that worked out fine. And just holding them accountable with the points. I think that for Monday is a fresh week, so everything is fresh and new for them, and they come in with a new attitude, and so they tend to do a lot better. And I think that having a break from just what regular, I don't know if that's routine for them to sit and do packet work. I don't think so. I think Mays just teaches. So giving them that independent, just quiet time, they really took advantage of that.
Because you held them accountable.
Yeah.
I want to name that they didn't take advantage of it because you held them accountable. Because they are still teenagers, and had you not held them accountable,
yeah, probably wouldn't.
It would have been the lunchroom. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no
problem.
problem.
A big win. I want to. We're going to continue to fine tune and progress monitor the start of class. I'm going to come again tomorrow also and watch it. So that's going to be an ongoing thing. But today I want to jump into something new. So this is a quick thing that has a huge impact. I want to work on using lightning quick corrections. So this is something that we've talked about as a whole group, but you and I haven't specifically talked about the format for it. So I'm going to say 2 examples for you, and I want you to, what's effective about what I say. I want you to think about what's effective about what I say. So say we're in class and Taylor is making noise on her way to get her Chromebook. I would say, Taylor, that's 1, volume, level 0. Thank you.
Really, it was nothing else, straight to just 1 for volume, level 0. And it's almost like you kind of waited for her to get there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I said Taylor, that's 1, value, level 0.
And then you stated what
Thank you.
the expectation was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more. Again, this is a little thing, but it'll have a big impact. So say that we're in the hall and we're transitioning class down, but Chris is turned around. Chris, that's 1, line procedure, face forward. Thank you.
And so it's like you waited for him to
Mm-hmm.
do what you were asking, do the expectation, and kind of finished it with thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds the same. It sounds like it goes in the form of you assign the consequence,
Mm-hmm.
and then in assigning it, you let them know for what.
Mm-hmm.
You told them what the expectation was, and you thanked them. What you waited until you did it, and then you thanked them.
Great. You always coach yourself in these videos.
Yeah.
And so those are the exact, seriously, she doesn't need me. Those are the exact things that I wanted you to notice. That I named the scholar. I said -1 for what they lost a point for. I said how to correct it or the expectation. I waited and then I thanked them. So I want to watch a video of your class. Let's see, at 6:15 to 6:30, and you're giving Jarrell a correction in this clip. 6:15. Boom. So right. Did you hear what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Watch it one more time. And then we looked down after that. So, what is the gap between what I just modeled and what you just saw in your video?
I didn't tell him what. I mean, I signed the consequence.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's the second time around
Mm-hmm.
that I had to address whatever the issue was. I signed the consequence. I didn't tell him what for.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of stared, and I don't know if I waited for him to do it and then look back down or what happened there. But it just wasn't clear on what happened after, whether or
Mhm.
not he actually did it, or if he just like, okay, and went back to that. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't clear enough.
So what would you need to do differently to close that gap?
Jarrell, that's 1 for inappropriate volume. Please continue to work at a level 0. And for that, thank you. Seems like, yeah.
How does that feel?
It felt like I wasn't because I feel like I tend to say more than I need to instead of just getting right to the point of, that's 1 for this, get back to, or level 0, or turn around in line, or sit down in your seat, whatever it is.
Being more concise.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna I just dropped it in a standard format for lightning quick corrections, and I'll make it a little bit bigger. I don't know why it's like size 7 font there. But this is typically the language used. Say their name, that's 1 for X, how to correct, wait for compliance, thank you. I'm gonna put some examples on here. What are you taking away from this?
It all seems like I'm thinking about how I correct kids now, and it's not formatted like this. It's so a correction though. It's just not this way. But I feel like it would probably make my job a lot easier and less stressful if I just did it this way instead.
Let's pick 3 scenarios. Let's practice. So what are 3 scenarios in which you often have to correct scholars? And we'll practice each
Okay.
one. So what's an example?
Usually for talking,
Okay, when?
for an independent work time.
What's another scenario?
I would say after I give a consequence, the biggest thing for me is the kids will fight that.
Okay, so after a consequence, when a kid has an inappropriate verbal response.
So yeah, anytime after a consequence, they just feel like it could be one for talk, one for turn around. They'll be like, "What'd I do? Or what?"
Do you know why they're saying that?
I feel like sometimes they do, and then it doesn't matter. Like if they feel like they weren't wrong in that, they will still say like, "What I do?" Or I was just like a lot of what I've been hearing is I was just telling this person to stop talking to me. I was just telling this person they asked me a question, so I was responding to them. And just like shake my head.
So that's a little bit different with the talking, but just now in that video with Jarrell, if he would have said, "What did I do?"
Yeah, because I didn't tell him exactly why I took a point.
Got it. Yes.
But usually it could be for one for inappropriate volume. The kid's favorite line, I'm speaking to 6th graders in particular, but is what I do. And I guess if I were more like this all the time, more consistent and using that format, I would probably hear less of what I do. And just holding them accountable for that. Like, would that be 3 for inappropriate response to what I do? Yeah, they say that a lot.
They're gonna start saying it less. One of the things too that I've noticed with our kids, particularly in lower house, actually mostly with lower house, is they don't think that noises count as talking because they're not words, right? And so what I have done as a correction, I've practiced with Jen, is she'll say, "Taylor, that's 1, noise, level 0.
Yeah, I would say
Thank
that
you.
too. Volume. I wasn't talking volume. Tapping is volume.
I would be even more specific and say tapping or noise.
Yeah. Yeah, they do that
Because
too.
volume, the kids are like, "Well, I was doing it quietly."
So
Just like when you tell a kid to be quiet when really you mean silent, it's nuanced. Because if you say volume, you're like, "Well, they could argue, I was doing it at a low volume." Think back to middle school. If there's a loophole, they will find it. Because I've heard so many kids before when teachers have said, "Be quiet," and the kids are like, "Well, we're being quiet," which they are, but they meant be silent. Okay, so I have talking during independent work time, after a consequence when a kid has an inappropriate verbal response. What's another time in which?
Line procedures. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they like to talk to you in line.
So call out during line?
Yeah. Even if it's to ask a clarifying question or anything, they try. Usually when they're coming out from with the one teacher and they're coming with another.
So what should they do instead of calling out?
Wait until we get into the classroom after the first 5. I just feel like that's more appropriate. I almost feel like I can't say 2 words to kids in line.
I agree. I don't know if they have that kind of impulse control though. So I would say they have a question, use your hand signal.
To even ask it, they can ask in line then?
I think if they use a hand signal, if you think you have time, you can say, I see you when we get in the room, or you can say,
Okay.
give me 1 second, and then do it right then. They just
Yeah.
want you to acknowledge them.
Yeah, and that's the biggest, like, it's so, like, I don't know if I can talk to kids, like, they could have something be really pressing that they didn't get, and, like, a lot of times the kids are like, I need to go really bad to the restroom because they couldn't go in the last class, or there wasn't enough time in the last 5, they
So
can't
use
go.
their hand signal.
Yeah, so I do, and then I'll tell them, like, I still make them wait until the first 5 class, and that to me is like, do I really want a parent calling me, telling me what?
So you can use your judgment. If you
Yeah.
if the line is in a good place and you feel like you have a second to be like, what's up? Then do that. But if not, you can say, I see you, or I'm gonna get you as soon as we get in the room.
Okay, because my thing is like, it's like an emergency, like even a teacher will tell me like, this kid needs to go. So can they go, like I've let kids go without a pass just coming from one class because they absolutely had to go. That's another thing. Like I'm just so afraid of like,
I
them
would
getting
say
in trouble.
real quick, like if you can like pause your line and sign in a sheet, and we want to avoid that, right? But if it's like an absolute emergency, at the very least, make sure they have their signature sheet.
Okay. So so I feel like I just need to address, and then they gotta go in the bottom. Take it out. Usually there are 2 of us, so I'll say, one is Bosman.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plus in having 2 of us.
Yeah, that sounds like a good option. Is say, check in with Boston.
Yeah, I almost feel like the kids think I'm ignoring them, and it's so sad. Like I don't know when.
And you feel like you're ignoring him too. It seems like.
Yeah, I do.
Say,
I'm
use
like,
your hand signal.
usually, yeah, I feel like there's not enough time in this day to even communicate what kids actually need from us beyond just learning. Even at lunch, it's really intense because I'm always having to keep my eyes like watching kids like they're hogs, and I can't converse with them because we have the earplug, and then they're yelling my name out, and God forbid they're raising their hand. I'm not. It's just a lot of things they skipped over. I feel like.
Start trusting your gut. So if a kid wants your attention in the hallway, of course they can't call out. But if you have a moment, then talk to them.
Yeah.
And in lunch, if you miss something in the walkie, talk to the kid. And if you miss something, you can say it again, please.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes I even miss, it's hard putting that on.
I know,
I
I do
feel
a
like a
dismissal.
lot of things are just missed with these kids. Think about those kids who, they'll never call on me because they're always busy and they won't even bother raising their hand for whatever that need may be. We just will probably never know because we're always so consumed. So I guess that's like me kind of thing. But that's like the biggest piece for me. I love like getting to know these kids beyond like the classroom. So a lot of it is just,
How can you build some of that more into your advisory?
and so that's what I was also thinking about, but that's just CU. We do. I feel like I know them better than any other advisory.
Mm-hmm.
Just small conversations, like with the last kids that are in the room that are usually car riders or walkers. They help clean up, so there's a little socializing there. Even we are doing the caricature, so that allows for like conversations to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming
It's
kids
tough when you're not a lead teacher. Like you're like co-leading a class, but you know what I mean, like leading a full block for a grade.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but I feel like it's coming along. Like that's why I like to do the after school things with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And get, be more hands-on outside of the classroom with the kids. Because I feel like I go back to that quote: kids don't want to learn from a teacher they don't like. Well, there's not
Rita
a like.
Pearson, have you seen that?
Yeah, it did,
Yeah.
and that stuck with me. It's not even what it's really. I feel like kids don't want to learn from people they don't know. They're like, why should I trust you again?
Right.
It's been a
Keep
long
finding
time
those
coming.
moments, and I would say trust your gut. Like, it's okay to talk to them in hell if you can. It's
Yeah.
okay at lunch if you need to say, hear it again, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I need to hear. I need to hear that it's okay.
Kids
So I
are
feel like it's so pressing that I be on the walkie-talkie and watch a
If
kid.
you need to hear it again, that's what happens. I do that all the time. I'll be caught up in a fist pound or like saying, "Hey, how did that go after I saw you today?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you say that again? I didn't hear it."
Yeah. All right. Well, I heard it's okay,
Yeah,
and that's I feel like
our kids need love.
they really do. I feel like that means so much to them and to me. So gotta give my love. But yeah.
Let's go back to this.
Mhm.
Let's practice the lightning quicks for these. But seriously, don't ever feel like you don't have time to show them love. It makes me sad to hear. So if a kid calls out during line, what are you gonna say?
Chris, that's one. The appropriate volume. Please turn your voice off.
Let's make it more concise. Chris, that's one for.
Volume.
Is it volume or is it? We're in line and Chris goes, Miss Allen, I have a question.
Oh, Chris, that's one for calling out. I mean, it's both really.
Okay.
I'll say calling out if he's yelling out like that. I'll just say calling out, I guess. Chris, that's one for calling out.
Now go back to the script up here. What's the next thing? Let's see, I'm highlighting it. What's one for call out? What should he do instead?
Oh, raise your hand.
Or use your hand signal.
Use your hand signal. Then they're all gonna be using their hand signal in line.
That's fine, but then
Okay.
you're not going to feel like you're ignoring them. And you can, if they're all using the hand signal, you can say, I see you, look at you in class.
Great, I'll do that.
Or if you have a minute, you can talk to them.
Use some judgment
They
there.
just want to be acknowledged.
That's all, because, you know, they
Because
accept 1
sometimes
hour.
they even forget. They just want your loving.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that sounds about right. Use your hand signal, because he did call out.
Then what?
Wait for him to use hand signal.
I liked how you were specific and you didn't just say wait for compliance and then thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, try that again, start to finish. I'm Chris and I just say, Miss Allen, I have a question.
Chris, that's one for call out. Please use your hand signal. Thank you. What would you like? How do you need Christopher?
Great. Or if you don't have time, what do you say?
I see your hand. Can you please wait until we get into the classroom?
Yeah, and if it's really urgent, they'll tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
But because you acknowledge them, and if it can wait, they'll usually say, yeah, okay. They just want your attention.
Right.
Okay, talking during independent work time.
Alicia, that's 1 for inappropriate volume. Level 0.
Inappropriate volume, like what? Is she making a noise? Is she talking?
Talking to her partner, I guess.
That's 1 for talking.
That's 1 for talking. So we don't necessarily have to say what's in live school. We can just name exactly what that thing
Yes.
is, and they know it's gonna be
Yes.
for volume.
Yes.
Okay, Alicia, that's 1 for talking.
One thing too I've noticed, yeah. Some of our kids think talking is like talking out, and this is a conversation.
Yeah.
And so sometimes when you say stop talking, they're like, I wasn't talking. Because they consider this a conversation and this talking out.
That's so funny.
It's a cultural
Because
thing.
me talking is talking.
Same.
You're talking. I'm watching you talk right now.
I know, same. But I've noticed I get a different response when I say stop talking and when I say stop the conversations.
Okay. So I can even be
Pay attention,
specific.
try that in class sometime, right? If you
Yeah.
have like little side conversations, stop the conversations, stops the little mumblings.
Yeah.
'Cause
Just
in-
really specific.
We don't have a population of like Spanish speakers, but in my last school, conversar is different than hablar. And so
Okay.
that's why conversations, I have to be like, stop the conversations, because this is different from this. But none of our students, very few of our students speak Spanish as their first language, so just something to think about.
Okay.
But for now, Alicia, that's 1 for talking.
Level 0. Wait for compliance. Thank you.
Cool. What about this one? This is a meatier one. After a consequence, after a kid yells out, What did I do? After giving a correction. After giving a correction, let's say for calling up. For talking. Let's do talking. What do you say?
What I say is, that's, you were talking. But I say, Destiny, that's 1. That's 3, actually.
It's 3 for inappropriate. What do you, sorry, I'm filling it in for you.
I usually just say, when they respond like that, I just say that's 3. And they already know for what.
Let's try to be consistent though, so that way they always do.
Well, then I would then say that's 3 for inappropriate response.
And in this case, you were talking.
You were talking, level 0, compliant.
I think if it's a specifically what did I do, you can say Destiny, that's 3 for inappropriate response. You were talking, level 0. Wait for level 0 and then thank you. Only, you don't have to, you only are going to add this you were talking part if they said what did I do.
Right.
Because if they just call out and say like, that's stupid, you can just say, Destiny, that's 3 for inappropriate response, level 0.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Thank you. The more consistent you will be with using this format.
Yeah. I feel like it will save me a lot of like time and energy being spent on kids who, in all actuality, just want to argue the system. That's all they want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And I always like go back to if I have to like reset or like have like a heart to heart with the entire class. I'm like, you guys know the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'll name a few things that I just saw from kiddos, or and just speaking in general, not necessarily calling kids out. This, that. The expectation is to this, that.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we reset.
Mm-hmm. It is effective when I've seen you reset. You always restate the expectation. You don't assume they know it, and that's why when you reset, I've seen it be like efficient.
Yeah. And sometimes it just needs to happen, and I don't like own it if I like reset, or if I gave her direction and I didn't like say level 0, or I didn't say, you know, if I wasn't
think that's big.
specific enough.
The kids appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll own my junk real quick in front of them and tell them like we make mistakes too. So, you know.
So actions up the next week. Use a standard lightning quick format.
I think this is something I've been needing to work on for the longest. Because I feel like I have to go into a whole spiel with the kids, usually when they give an inappropriate response about, you know, why.
So let's say I was just talking, you give me correction, and I say, what did I do?
I would say, Nicole, that's 3 for inappropriate response. You were talking. Level 0.
That was a good teacher stare. I was ready to be at a level 0. Okay, great. So this is something that's just going to, I think that you're going to start noticing the times when you use it and when you don't and what the impact is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an ongoing action step.
Right. Okay, cool.
I'm going to come in again tomorrow also to try to get some more video of